Because
Yeah.
I didn't know that you expect the bills to be shared 50-50.
Why only a woman who is independent have to have that security? What about the man? Because we are equal, right? How come a man does not have that security? How can I know that my wife is not going to be, treated me in that way? Hello, everyone. My name is Karan.
And my name is Amina.
We are Pakistani-Vietnamese couple.
And this is Between Us podcast.
Every week we sit down and we have a conversation about love,
Marriage,
relationships,
and cultures.
and everything
In
in
between.
between.
I think one of the topics that most couples care about is finances.
Okay.
And I want to talk about, should couples share money in marriage?
Wow, that's a really hot topic, I would say, because
Yeah.
many marriages, their deals are different in between couples, right?
Yeah. And I think this is one of the topics that couples are shy to talk about before getting married.
Everybody in relationship, they have one spot of like, I can do everything for him, I can do everything for her. So those, sentence stuck in their head, like, I don't let him or her angry about this. So they shy about that.
They're
I
shy
guess.
about
Yeah.
that, and they don't want to have tough conversations.
Yeah.
And every time talking about money, we have a culture like, if we talk about money, we seem greedy.
Yeah.
So we don't want to discuss about that, but I think it's essential, especially when it comes to marriage.
That's
So-
right.
so
And it's
there's-
and it's like a, very how to say, hard question for both, male and female, because they think he or she will judge me.
yeah, exactly.
So the
Like,
judging will
we
be
don't want
there,
to be
right?
judged.
I don't want to be, get judged, and then I don't want to be like, I mean, I love you, but it doesn't mean that I have to, I have to share. I think most couple, the problem is they don't really open enough before marriage or
I
before
agree.
commitment.
And you remember before we got married,
Yeah.
we had a talk, right? We sit down, we had a talk, and then I
That's
asked
right.
you the questions like, how are we going to manage our finances? And you
That's
said
true.
that this is a good question. And
That's a
then
really
that's
good
where
question.
we started the conversation.
Yeah. I think mostly people are, because right now we are both independent. So when you are both independent, then you have to share these. You have to actually talk about this matter, right? Many people, they might be one person is independent and one is not. So they have huge expectations from each other.
Right.
So that could be one reason, I think. Yeah.
But why do you think talking about money in marriage is important?
Well, I would say that, it's a part of living. Okay. So it's not part of like how much I love you, so I can do, everything for you. I can take a moon down for you, like stuff like that. So it's like, it's not a fairy tale kind of thing. It's just a normal living thing, and it should need to be discussed, I think.
And marriage is about daily activities, and every
True.
activity requires money, right?
True. In our culture, families do that.
All families do that.
Because they sit together and they think about like, okay, this is how it finances coming, and then this is, he's going to live with us. If he's living with the parents, if he's not, then he's outside, and this is his portion of area. He's going to live separately, and then whatever he does, he has to, go through with that. So financially or however it is. So we don't ask you for anything. So parents to parents, they have like settlement in between them. And then couple also have this settlement. Okay, like, I'm happy, you just, wherever you take me, I will live with you. So
But that is in Islam cultures, Islamic
That's true.
countries,
That's true, yeah.
right? But like when we got married, we're from different countries, we're from different religions. Did you have a question, or did you have a thought about like, should I talk to her about finances, or did you have any like things in your mind that how are you going to take care of the finances in the family before we get married?
Well, before we get married, I had a little clue about the people, because I meet a lot of people on a daily basis. So they always talk about that, right? Before I was sitting with my friends, they were married and they already mentioned about this stuff. I started thinking about how do we manage that. So especially finance, right? So we sit and talk and we had a conversation. So that's, I just now mentioned, like, we offer what we can, and we should not what we can, right? I mean, that's how it works.
But as a man, and I know in Islamic cultures, the man is supposed to provide for the family. But as a man, and you've been living abroad many years, do you have any thoughts in your mind that you also expect your wife to take care of like some things in the family as well?
Well, as I said, that we are both independent, and then as I already see you, you know, like that you are also independent person. So in the respect way, I would ask you for your, you know, like, what's your potential to continue financial with me, right? So if you can, you would happily do by yourself rather than I ask you for that. So because you know every man have an ego, so men will not like, not every man, like a different kinds of ego, right? So my ego is like I would not, you know, like ask anybody, not even my like partner or my parents as well or my brother as well, my friends as well. Like I will never ask for something that I can. If I comfortable with, I can do this. I can spend it. You know, so it's on me. So that might be hesitation for me to ask my partner, like, you know, where you can fit in, how can you support me, or stuff like that. Yeah.
You never asked me like how much money I made, or like
That's
you
right.
never asked me. You never had a question like, what are you gonna spend on the family or stuff like that.
That's
So
right. You know,
I
I
didn't.
should have asked you, right?
You should have asked me?
Should I ask you, like, what do you think? Because we are independent, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we should have to have talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And it's a good idea I come up with sometimes. And I ask, what do you think? That I should ask you or should not ask you?
No, it was really like it was surprising for me when you didn't mention at all at the beginning of our marriage.
yeah.
And then I realized that I should also contribute in some way. So you didn't ask me, but from my perspective, I should also take care of some things in the family. Like sometimes I buy groceries, or I paid for the bills, or like I buy things in the house that I think is needed, things like that. But we never had a conversations about like what are you gonna take care of and what am I gonna take care of and stuff like that. Only later on.
Yeah. Do you think it should be balanced? What do you think? Like, because I was thinking, you know, like I told you, like I am the one that I want to not ask for anybody's help. That's how I think. Maybe I think, or that's how maybe I think I got the influence by the socialism, like right now, that the place that we are living, right? For example, suppose that. So, but I think I should not be because I cannot take everything on me, right? So that could be not good. What do you think? Like, do you think that is a good idea to?
I think there are several types of family.
Yeah.
The first type is like the husband takes care of everything and he doesn't even need his wife to contribute anything. The second type is like some couples I know that they share 50-50.
Yeah.
Or like some people, like one person is in charge of certain things and the other person is in charge of certain things. Yeah. There's also families where I see that they both pick up the responsibilities and they both support each other's. But most of the families, I see that the man is always like taking care of the majority of the finances, the financial responsibilities, and the girls or the woman, the wife, always like helps with the housework or like with other responsibilities, like taking care of the kids or taking care of
Like a full-time
both
housewife,
families.
yeah.
Yes. So I think it really depends on what we think about marriage.
True.
And what we can contribute and what we expect our partners. In our case, I think it changes through times. Remember at the beginning of the marriage, we didn't talk about it and you were naturally and automatically paying all the bills.
Yeah.
And I see that you are a responsible man. You never asked me, and naturally I have a tendency to help you or to support you. Like I want to share that burden with you. It's
That's
not
true.
because you asked me to do so, but I feel like it's my home too.
Yeah.
And just because you paid for everything and I do all the housework doesn't mean that you should not help me with the housework, or I should not help you with finances. So that's how I gradually change through time.
So I think it's one of the example that you said, like, women are like housewives and they do that, right? And then the man is just responsible for all financial, and then they go with this idea. And on the other hand, we have AA situation, right? So both 50-50 they can share. In this independency, like, living style that we have, I think if I both have to pick, I really admire by the 50-50, because this is where both of you will not see your partner's expectations, a high kind of, a huge kind of expectations, like, I can't do, I did this for you, I did that for you. Because later, probably, if one person is keep doing things, you will fed up. It's naturally, no matter it's finance or no matter what's in the housework, right? So when we share, that means that we both responsible for things. So we both are like that. I really like the idea of living like a 50-50, because this is where couples can grow and understand more easily, because both are independent, both have jobs to do, both have things to do, right? So they can. It's not like they cannot. So that's what I'm thinking. And I think it's really good. I don't know how you think that, which one is more practical, because we never had anything like that, right?
Yeah. But and I'm very surprised because you shared
This is
that
really
idea with me
practical, yeah.
today, because
Yeah.
I didn't know that you expect the bills to be shared 50-50. So
Right.
what do you think about when some women or like a lot of women, they disagree with that idea?
That's true.
Why do you think it is?
The one who really disagree with that, because they want to rely and take responsibilities. Like, what I will give you a child. Like, and then they think, their mind setup is like, you married me, I give you the child, I give you the family, so you have to pay me a lot of bounty. So this is where they get wrong, because I think women expectations are like that. This is what I think. But of course, in the society, there are many different types of cases. So I'm not really sure. But this is the huge pressure for your partner. Like, okay, like, of course I got married with you, so now I need to do that. So of course I had a family right now because of you. I'm successful now. So it's like return policies are going on. But then, but practically, if you think, it's harm for both of them,
How come?
because you're not only the one that give you the family. Without husband, you're not a family at all, right?
I think we're not on the same page, because from a woman's perspective, I see that woman picks up a lot of like the household's responsibility. For example, like when you come back home, you don't have to do a lot of things. Like the food is served and the house is cleaned.
Right.
Of course, you also help with the household,
Yeah.
but the extra hours that you work at home is much less than a wife when she works, like when she does a thing at home. So just if we do a simple math, like we both go to work 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
for example, and if we both shares the bills 50-50, and when the wife is home and she does, like, she works extra hours more than her husband's, where can she find the balance, and where can she respect her husband, and where can she feel taken care of if the actual work she does is actually more?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, right now we are independent. How come it's like more work? If you could think of, like, practically both of them, or they go in the same time, go out to work and then come back, or maybe doing something during the day, 8 hours a day, and then they come home. They still have to share many things, cleaning, cooking. Like, it's a mutual sharing. right? And if a person who really did not touch the dishes, who really did not come to the kitchen, then that's a fault. But if it's balance, that means everything is balanced. It's like this: I don't owe you, you don't have to owe me too. Like that kind of thing. I
But
don't
it
know.
hasn't answered my question. Like, where can a woman find protection or like care from her husband if she has to share all the bills and she also has to do extra housework at home? So with the same amount of time and with the same amount of money she pays, why wouldn't she live alone? Because she would have had a much more comfortable and like convenient life without a partner. Of course, if there's a partner, there will be more fun, there will be companionship. But if I have to spend the same money and putting the same effort, spending the same time, I'd rather spend alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you need a partner, then I also need a partner for that too. Because when you need a partner for something that you're looking for, okay, like because partner needed not only for financials, partner needed for many other things too, right? To share life with. So when you're talking about share life with, you cannot only talking about the finances to compile on like, okay, financially you support me, I love you 90%. Emotionally you support me, I love you only 10%. So that's not fair for both of them. Oh, they're not fair for the husband, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, but it's from my personal experience.
Yeah.
I
And then-
wouldn't feel taken care
Yeah.
if I have to share like 50% of the finances, financial responsibilities. I wouldn't feel that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That what is a security here for a man? Why only a woman who is independent have to have that security? What about the man? Because we are equal, right? How come a man does not have that security? How can I know that my wife is not going to be, treated me in that way?
Which way?
Like security ways. Like you talking about how can a woman be secure, right?
No, I'm not talking about secure. I'm talking about to be
Security.
taken care of.
Yeah, but that's your security you want. How can I be taken care of?
Because a man with or without a woman, he still has to live and afford for himself anyway.
The woman was doing, as a single, was doing the same thing.
Yes, but I mean, in marriage, there will be extra responsibilities for the women. Giving
Yeah,
birth, for example, and spend most of the time with the children.
That's right. If you give in a birth and then you have the burden for that, right? Then 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, you're going to stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that responsibility? We should be talk on that. Okay, you're going to take care of that. That burden should be talk, and then that burden could be split. Like, okay, in this time I'm not working, so can you support me? And if answer is yes, that's good. And if the answer is no, that means that's an error here. Because men is, as you said, that they are strong about, so if they have savings and they might, do like that. They support. And that's where you can feel taken care. Because every step that you take in marriage, you grow together. You face together. Right? And then that's how you go further. That's the theory about that, what I see in the society, that if both are independent, they can think like that rather than to think like only one sided is heavy and other side is weak. I'm talking about both ways. Suppose a woman is earning more than a man, right? And you still want it to be 50-50 on that time. Like she doesn't mind to do that. But at the same time, if a man is earning more and then she is not really earning more, then he also wants to do the 50-50.
Yeah, so you just mentioned a very interesting thing that if a person earns more in the marriage, should their contribution more than the other one?
No. My answer is like, I will stick on being 50-50. I think it's more practical, although I personally don't do that.
So why do you like that idea if you personally don't do that? What is the reason why you don't do that?
I don't do that because I see it's complications. You
Why?
can't convince a person, your partner.
Mm,
I might be have a huge, like understanding backside. I have to come up with the point where it's we are comfortable with that.
mm,
So I also want, as a man, man has an ego, so I am different than the other people who do that.
mm-hmm.
So I might be not feel comfortable.
Oh, it's confusing here for me. So you
Mm.
said that you like that idea, but you also personally don't do that because you are not comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
So what is actually your opinion about this?
Well, that's something that I like. That doesn't mean that I have to do it, right? My
Mm,
methods of growing together far
mm,
might be different.
mm,
I'm talking about I like that idea because it's how society it is. It's how people will think about that. And I'm happy about some people they are actually living like that. Especially European countries, they don't have issue. Everything they go with a not even with the partner, they do with the parents too.
mm-hmm,
If they come home to stay, they have to pay the rent,
mm-hmm.
right? So if they come home, so what do you think? The parents and the child doesn't have a love between? I cannot live in your house for free? No. You come, you pay for your food, you pay for the rent.
Yeah,
How
that's a
simple is
different
that?
in cultures
Yeah,
because
that's
in
different in
Vietnam, you
culture.
go with your parents, you don't pay, you support. But I think
Exactly.
it depends on family to
It
family.
depends on the
Yeah,
families to family, but no, mostly family they do that. They have a financial pressure there, so they cannot allow you to
because the
come home for
expenses are
nothing.
high.
Well, I would say many people they are living on the pension, and then they are like still on the retirement, or might be they have money is still coming. They are
Mm.
not really they are flex. They some family probably flexible that, but I think average people in European countries they don't do that.
Mm.
Yeah, so I feel it's a more independency there, and then it's I feel where it's more practical because they everybody's earning,
Yeah, of course, it's going to
right?
be pros and cons because if everyone is independent, no one is and no one's burden.
That's like I don't owe you, you don't have to owe me, right? So my logic is behind there. So I like the way that they live, where they have feelings for that, and where they have things like it's like they are like more practical. Like that's what here in Asian culture, all Asia, right, including Pakistan, India, and then including Asian countries, Vietnam, China, they all have the family, the parents are the more resources till in the end they are responsible for that.
I think we're
Their
going
children.
we're going too far. So
Yeah.
let's get back to our
Okay.
topic. That
Financial.
also, so we just talked about like who how we contribute in the family
Yeah.
and what are some concepts of sharing the financial responsibilities. Another thing I want to talk about is like, should each person of the couple have their own money after marriage, or like we should be transparent about all the money we make, or like all the resources we have?
Well, if they're both independent, they know where they can what they can do with their own money. They are both adults. They should not be. It should be a freedom there, in my opinion. Like they should know each other. They should know their expenses. They should know controlling how to control it. It's like a personal thing. You know that how you earn money. What you're gonna do when you were single, right? I mean, this is like how you survive. So, do you think that people should save it and then save it for the retirement, and then they don't really take the money out, even if they need it?
I think it's really depends on the goal of that saving account.
That's right.
Because, for example, if we save for a short term plan, like buying a house, buying a car, or like traveling or stuff like that, then we can take it out when we need to spend on that goal. But if it's like a long term plan, like our retirement, our pension, and stuff like that, we should not touch it no matter what because it would affect the interest.
Yeah,
It'll interrupt the process.
that's true.
What do you think? But what if we have this plan, we have this investment, and then suddenly in the middle there's some emergency coming
That's
up,
what I'm
and then
talking about. Like, should on that time you will think about it, but before that, I ask you, you did not think about it. So, do you think that other partner would be have hurt their feelings, and then they don't rely on each other anymore?
I think they should discuss.
They should
Of
discuss.
course.
Okay.
Like anything shared that we have, before making a decision, we should consult each other.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's some human. They're like take things inside, and they might be said it. They're not happy, but they might be not happy about it. This kind of conflicts, like people have these.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, at the time that I said, okay, I got you, like, all right, we can, I listen to you. But the other time that I don't want to listen to you, but I really have that guilt inside. Some people, they have a guilt inside.
I think if they agreed on initially, then they shouldn't have blamed, or like there should be no excuse for that later on. They cannot take on that. They cannot use that to attack the other person in some other situations,
Yeah.
or something like that. So I really think that if anything that comes to money, then first it should be clearly discussed.
Yeah.
Second, it should be agreed on. Whatever they don't agree on, they can have different ways to spend or like to save. But if they already agree, that's how we build trust. And then we just like do the same thing.
Yeah. Great to hear that. It was a really hot topic about the money, huh?
Yeah. So what do you think about us so far?
We're doing great. I think we had many things in common that we're responsible for it. So main thing is our being responsible. So if I need it, I will not hesitate to ask you. And if you need it, you will not hesitate to ask me. And financial goals, we can rely on each other because that's what we have a trust on each other. Yeah. And eventually, if the money is for this house, right, the house that we are building. So if our goal is we are one and think about in a one way, then automatically there will be not any hesitations. But if I'm thinking about I'll use you now and later I will, or I will take a use of this now and then after that I will change myself. People also do that. So I think this could be harmful.
So if there are like some pieces of advice you would give yourself, let's say if you would go back time, if you could go back time, what would you give yourself or talk to yourself in order to change the reality at the present,
Well,
to have a healthier financial status?
because limits, I did not have my limits. This is my limit. I cannot jump over there. No matter what. Take it or leave it. But if you don't have that limit line, then it's going to be a problem. So these my experiences like I have, then right now I feel like I really learn things like that. So I need a limit now. This I can, this I cannot do. So I can able to do no now, for example. I can able to say that's it, I don't need anymore. But before is like I was young, so I could not do that. I was like, okay, let's
Just
like,
go with
like
the
a
flow.
horse riding, like you keep doing it and you enjoyed it and you don't want to stop it. And of course, I'm shaking my body on the horse. Of course, it's uncomfortable. Of course, the speed is really getting faster. But because of the flow, you just see materialism around you, pressure, social pressure around you, and then you just keep doing it.
So
That's what
you
I
should have a
learned.
budget.
I should have to separate. No. I have to differentiate things and separate them, each of them. If you separate each thing, you have a line for that. If you don't separate them, you don't have a line for that. So strongest advice for everybody who's listening, I think it should be set your boundaries.
That's true.
Yeah.
Boundaries and budgets for everything in your life, and then also have different goals, because at some point we might need some certain money, and then if we put everything in a long-term investment, then we cannot take it out. But I think we should have a clear plan for that.
Clear plan. And then if it's in a relationship, marriage, actually people are doing job, mostly couples, they can save it together, or they can also save it their own and just tell the partner like, this is my savings, I'm not going to touch it. And the another partner also say the same thing. It could be okay to one account, it could be not okay to be one account. It's that should be flexible. It should not be like, okay, I said that, this is not because he doesn't trust me. No, I think it should be have a respect on that, your partner. Yeah.
Okay, let's
Roll it up.
wrap up. Yeah.
Okay, right. I think we had a great conversation.
Yeah, we do.
We'll see you in the next episode.
So if you enjoy our conversation, don't forget to give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel and comment if you want us to talk about anything next time, because it's also like a learning for us, because every time we discuss about this, we learn a lot from each other.
Exactly. There we're sitting two different cultures here, and then we also grow up in the different countries. So now we're sitting together and then also have a life journey together. So we could have, many things to share to you guys, and you also want to know. Send us message or just type in the comments whatever you want to know. We will definitely happy to express. And then maybe some of you are watching who does not commit yet and wanted to go, maybe a Vietnamese girl or Pakistani boy, or maybe a Pakistani girl and Vietnamese boy. There are married couple and they have things together, the life journey. So keep in touch. Stay tuned.